Thanks, everyone, because the World Manufacturing Forum continues with a keynote speech. So I asked to join me on the stage to Marco Villa. Marco Villa is Chief Operating Officer at Technip Energies. Welcome to the WMF. Please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Firstly, thanks to having invited us. I will accompany you in a nice journey that it's the main topics of all the company working the energies on this period, that is advancing the journey toward a low carbon future. So we will start looking at what is the impact of Paris Agreement and how strong net zero goal have influenced our industries. Then we move forward on a certain focus on what we are doing with concrete example where the key driver is collaboration and innovation. And then digital, that is an enabler, and we will just complete with a look of ESG approach of the company where it's very, very important in that period. So this is very clear. Everybody knows what has been happening in the past future. So now there is this huge commitment to achieve the net zero emission, and this would mean reduced by 66% the emission of CO2 emission by 2050. So it's a very, very big challenges. So, but what we have in front of us? We are addressing the so-called energy trilemma. It's key, you know. We need green and clean energy. We are all in agreement. But this should be secure and reliable, and affordable and available at the right price. Today, all the industries is moving forward, you know. There are a lot of pressure from social, political pressure on the traditional so-called oil and gas company that you see more and more are coal energies. We are the first. Technip Energies, we have Total Energies, we have Qatar Energies. So it's all moving forward. They are reinventing themselves, moving as well toward electricity, sustainable chemistry, electric mobility, and with very strong long-term ambition as well to become net zero company in 2050. So but the dilemma is how far and how fast to pivot toward building new carbon neutral business that can be offered at acceptable financial condition, but with an adequate payout from the shareholders. So this we are used to call the trilemma, and now we will see what you have seen here, all the commitment, just a snapshot of the commitment of the main player. Europe were a little bit advanced compared with the US, but now we have seen even in the last effort, as has been outlined before, was a little bit behind, but he has recovered. You can see that Exxon board get 3 activists in their board, never happened before. So there is a huge changes in our industries. But there are even a big changes on the energy sources. For sure, the post-pandemic situation and the demand outlook for energy is perhaps less clear than it was before. You see, you have the International Energy Agency that, with the stated policy scenario, say the long-term upgrade trend will continue, driven by strong population and increase of gross domestic product. On the other hand, always the EIA, it's saying in its sustainable development scenario that global energy demand may even not grow anymore. But there is a common factor that on both scenarios we can detect, that renewable and bioenergy will gain significant share of global energy mix in the future. we can see what we are expecting. Someone, that can remain flat or slightly increase, for sure, is natural gas and nuclear. Someone that will reduce coal, and to less extent as well oil. So at the end, on what we are used today on energy mix, that is driven by fossil energy, only natural gas will be the one that will maintain its share in the primary energy demand for the next decade. This is because it has a lower carbon intensity, and it could be a lot of utilized to substitute more damaging sources to the environmental, as is coal. You see China have put in place a very strong program, coal to gas. In addition, it's driven by the demand of LNG on the market. LNG is the one that is increasing. So natural gas is the only one that we see as fossil energy that in the future will maintain a positioning important in the energy mix. And we will see more and more that oil will be gradually replaced by natural gas, hydrogen, and biomass. What we are seeing and which is our vision to move to energy transition? 4 main pillars: LNG, carbon-free solution, decarbonization, sustainable chemistry. On this one, it's clearly green is a journey. This is the reason for which it's called energy transition. But to transit to green, what is very important today and where we are focusing ourselves and we are strongly invest is in decarbonization, blue hydrogen, blue ammonia, and green as well as in the sustainable chemistry, the plastic recycling, that it's those topics very important to address immediately. But what we need to do it, energy molecule transformation skills and competencies, strong engineering capabilities to build up the proper architecture between the demand needs and the energy demand, integration of complex technology to making this journey with the best economics and profitable, new business model that has been outlined several times today, as well as project management and execution capability. Those are mandatory needs to be able to provide several avenues to be successful in energy transition. And how we can achieve it? Only one condition. It's working together. EPC contractor, technology provider, vendors, all the actors of the energy chain, as well as with the support of the government. Only all together, we have all the skin to make it happen and successful. So at the end, the clear message is energy transition is not a risk to our business. Energy transition is an important business opportunity for all of us, provided that we will work together. Collaboration, as I said before, and innovation are key drivers. This is very, very interesting, We have did an analysis, now all concentrating on reduce the CO2 emission, and in 50-50, only half of the reduction will come from the technology that are currently at demonstration phase or prototype phase. This is very, very important. So what does it mean, this? It means that we have in front of us an important challenge to invest heavily on technology. On the other hand, the current technology that are reliable, that will never, never enable us to achieve the target of 2050. Another important issue that we want to underline, how this world is changing, We are in front of us, energy transition, with bringing new actors on the scene. First example, new customer, different way of cooperation. I don't want to enter in all, but I think that even a few years ago, no one could expect that an engineering contractor as we were jointly developing with IBM and Under Armour. Under Armour is a US technical footwear leader to jointly develop the polyethylene terephthalate, so a molecule, to become green. This is commonly used, among others, to manufacture synthetic fibers. So what is important is we have even a lot of new opportunities that few years ago were not at all in our radar screen. What we are doing concretely, LNG. LNG, all the studies underline that is a key transition step is to decarbonize the LNG. So, as we said, LNG will remain, gas will remain very important. It will be a key actor to displace coal, particularly because it has 40% less of CO2 emission than coal. But we do not know the magnitude of this displacement, but what we clearly know that a decarbonized version can enhance this journey. And what more important is, yes, we have a look at very good opportunities in gas, strong opportunity on LNG, but the future, even on this domain, is changing. We need a decarbonized solution. We are working hard. If you consider that 75% of the emission occur during the pretreatment and liquefaction phase. So we are working a lot on the CO2 emission from the feedstock by compression, rehydration. But what is very, very important is how fast we are going. Since even 2 years ago, when we talk about, the LNG is powered by gas turbine, everybody was concentrated on drive efficiency improvement, no more than this. Now on, we are all going forward. We are further neutralizing emission combined with carbon capture unit, and we are going even starting to feed in turbine with renewable power, and more, we are even studying hydrogen as a substitute for feed gas. Message is the evolution of the technology is much, much more rapid than we are expecting and that we can have in front of us to make it happen. Important, renewable energies. Many people are talking about renewable energies. But on this one, we need to invest as well a lot on power management, because the big problem of the renewable energy is the intermittency management with solar and wind. This is another important area where we need to invest. I have an example important that a big project we got at the beginning of the year, the North Field expansion. It's four trains on LNG, each one 8 million tons per year. It's the first time that it's included a carbon capture unit that enable to reduce by 25% the CO2 emissions. So the journey is started and is going fast. What key message, on the gas LNG? Yes, we can achieve low to zero carbon LNG scenario, but a lot of expertise are required. Hydrogen, carbon capture, renewable, and still here, this is another example where we need to cooperate all together, and collaboration and innovation is key to move forward. We are all talking about hydrogen. Yes, hydrogen is the most widely used industrial gas in the downstream today. Ammonia production, petroleum refining, methanol production. But this is moving forward in a new avenue. How to use it to decarbonize industrial processes, and we have seen an example on the turbine for LNG. How can you use it as fuel for mobility, and even it could be used for heating our house. So in the long term, for sure, hydrogen has the potential to be as important as it is today gas in the energy mix. Here I have a clear example that another example how the technology is moving fast. But here, you know, 2 years ago, 70% of reduction of CO2 in the hydrogen was key, was perfect, was the top. Now we have launched our full suite of deeply decarbonized solution. We can capture and recover and reduce 99%. So in a very limited time compared with the past, we have worked heavily on maximize the hydrogen yield, to minimize energy demand for making it fuel and power, to combine with carbon capture, and we have achieved this important 99%. And this, it's very, very important because it's even very competitive compared with the current price of green hydrogen. Or gray hydrogen, sorry. We move now to green hydrogen. Everyone is listening a lot on green hydrogen. Green hydrogen, all are investing a lot on electrolyzers and energy storage. There are still a problem that we need to improve the technology, to scale up it, to make it and to make the project economical viable. Today they are not economical viable, but there is a positive aspect, you know. In the past year, they stole a lot for these challenges, mainly economics, but now we are seeing two important aspects that are moving forward. Firstly, governmental policy is a good momentum. There are strong governmental policy we have seen in certain countries in Europe, UK very strong, Australia, Japan, and China. And secondly, we are seeing that the cost of the electrolyzers are start to reduce because and we are expecting that in the coming years will be reduced very fast, thanks to a lot of money on technology and innovation are on the table, improvement in the supply chain, that is very important, and economy of scale. Another important issue, so we are talking a lot all about floating offshore wind. Yes, it's very important. Still, we have invested, we have one technology of a floater, Keynote 12, is an announced technology. It's still a complicated, the floating offshore wind, because you need expertise and capabilities on offshore design, mainly in difficult and harsh environment. You need the ability to manage risk and multi-interface in the marine environmental. And it's important even here to put a strategic partnership, you know. Our technology put the turbine producer, the cable, electrical cable producer, all together to make it happen. Alone, we cannot succeed. We are seeing, in any case, a lot of opportunity in the next 10 years. What is important? Yes, there are a lot of challenges. The industries are all around the table, but we need to face the main challenge that we have today, that is project economics. Digitalization. Digitalization, it's very, very, very important on decarbonization because, you know, the problem is that everyone now, when we talk about decarbonization, most of the people think only on carbon capture. Yeah, but we need to do a step forward. Reduce the production of CO2, not only concentrate on capturing. And we can do only this by means of driving energy efficiency. Energy efficiency should, and digital can help a lot on energy efficiency. Energy efficiency will enable us to reduce CO2 emission and then combine what is remaining with the carbon capture. We can achieve, I would say before, for hydrogen, 99%. We have, as I think other, but we have invested a lot, you know. Plant performance improvement, it's key. Plant performance improvement, we have a very strong platform, common operation cloud platform. It's common with our customer. This platform utilizes a physical-based model, but thanks to machine learning, real-time data, as well as artificial intelligence, can really modeling the plant performance and the energy efficiencies on real time. And this can enable to continuously improve the energy efficiency of the plant, as well as to benefit of what we have been capable to achieve in one plant to promote in other plant existing. So it's integrated with the customer, but it's integrated in all the plants we have been for the category. What is important as well, we have heavily invested, and today this is as well utilized and strongly utilized for renewable. Another focus, yes, people think it's important on the operation, but to be successful on energy efficiency, we need to start from day one, so the conceptual phase. On this one, we have heavily invested in so-called GenCat. Can you see here? GenCat, it's our leading carbon assessment tool. It will assess all direct and indirect emission of a plant from procurement phase to assets construction up to operation. And I'm saying it can be applied to all greenfield project, brownfield, upstream, downstream, and today it's even live on the renewable. This is another clear example that digital can help a lot to find out solution to decarbonize, provided that is combined early digital engagement, innovation, and collaboration. Just coming back on the approach of the people, I want to underline another important issue. It's that the ESG approach that the company should have. It should be really, this is a topic that everyone is talking on those days. It can be achieved. We are sure that it's achievable, but we need to have stronger business alignment to energy transition, ESG principle, and as well as having integrated a sustainable strategy within the process of the company and our business development activities. So, firstly, it's S of sustainability is part of something much more bigger and integrated. You know, we need even to talk of a business code of conduct, health and safety of our people, diversity and inclusion, and so mixing all it together, we can really achieve a strong sustainability. What is important on this? Sustainability should be a value of the company. All the people of the company shall recognize ourselves on ESG as a value of the company, and the management should every day act taking in consideration this commitment. This is very, very important. We are fully committed. In addition, we have started even that the management, in addition to the traditional customer financial objectives, we have very strong objective related to our performance on ESG. So this culture is very important. I want to leave with a very positive message. You know, as I said, energy transition is not a risk, it's an opportunity. We have a lot of competencies. We need to work together. Technology is running faster than we expect, but very, very positive. We are seeing that the young generation are very keen to contribute to it. Our group is working in 34 countries worldwide. We are an important recruitment plan almost worldwide. While since 2 years ago, any new engineer coming say, I have seen in your website great references. You did the largest LNG in the world. You did the biggest refinery. Now they sit and say, can you please explain to us which is your strategy on energy transition? Which is your strategy on investing on technology to make it happen? So then we have even a strong reservoir of new, fresh resources that are very interesting to make it happen. This is the best message so that can enable us to achieve those goals that are very, very, very challenging goals. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Marco Villa, COO at Technip Energy Thank you so much. I think your presentation was very focal also to introduce the next roundtable, the next session that will be dedicated on how technology can help transition, not just energy transition, but circular transition. Just a quick one before we leave you go, because there were many good news in your presentation in terms of how technology is here, is already here.
No, it's not.
And more technology will come.
Yeah.
And more technology will come. But let me also ask my question, because today we know that investment in renewables are connected also to energy prices. And speaking to Class CNBC, Fatih Birol, who's the head of the International Energy Agency, presenting the World Energy Outlook just a few days ago, said, you know, we are investing 1/3 on what is needed in renewables. At the same time, we see oil prices bracing for 100 per barrel. Are you concerned that this tension on the market will threat the transition we're talking about, will reduce investment in renewables? We hear about new drilling projects, we hear about new fossil fuel projects, and you know that you're on the market.
No, thanks for the question. Firstly, I'll just say that one of the actors of collaboration is the government. You know, the government for sure have to put plan to incentivize to move to renewable, and we are seeing that certain countries are investing a lot on it, because today the big challenge is that the technology there is, but we have two issues. We need to scale up the technology. We need to improve it to make it economically viable. And it will take time, money, and effort. And of course, everyone has to contribute. You know, we are not doing only for the benefit of ourselves. It's doing for the benefit of the planet. So everyone has to contribute. As far as the current oil price and gas price, yes, that are very high and unexpected, I think that is even contingent. You know, we cannot forget that we came from a depressed period due to the COVID and the pandemic. Investment has been blocked on oil and gas. Reservoir, in any case, even if there was a reduced consumption, the consumption there was, the reservoir would be reduced. And we are seeing that there are economies that have restarted to go faster, and they need a lot of energy. Energy is the first source for all the manufacturing activities and for improving the quality of the life of the people. So I'm not surprised, but I feel that it's contingent in that moment.
All right, thanks for your insight from the industry. Thanks again, Marco Villa.
Thank you.